I'm Pam Cureton. I'm the dietitian at the Center for Celiac Research and Treatment. So we would like to answer several questions that our patients give us in clinic that we find quite common. And today we want to talk about the communion host, or the Eucharist, in particular with the Catholic Church. Other dioceses may have different rules, but we get a lot of questions about the low-gluten communion hosts that are available through the Catholic Church. A little bit of history and background. The Vatican Code of Canon Law requires that it be made from unleavened bread that's made only from wheat. Pure wheat flour and water. Nothing else can be added, no other supplements can be put in there, or no other substitutes can be made. So it has to consist of only those two ingredients, wheat flour and water. Now, the Vatican also realizes that they need to make accommodation for those with celiac disease that can't have the wheat flour. So they have then designed a rule or change the norms for the use of the low-gluten altar breads that must contain a trace amount of gluten. The Benedictine sisters were one of the first to take on this challenge to try and accommodate those with celiac disease. So they started working with wheat starch. So they tried many different variations in different ways, but they finally came up with an edible acceptable low-gluten host. Now, the first host that they have developed and is still available from the Benedictine sisters is actually 0.01% gluten, or with the math, it's about 100 parts per million. However, today, other manufacturers of approved gluten-free hosts have manufactured gluten-free hosts that are 20 parts per million or less than 20 parts per million. They are accepted by the Vatican, they are accepted under canon law, but they are reduced to the less than 20 parts per million. I don't believe they're called gluten-free simply from the standpoint that, again, the law dictates that there must be some gluten in them in order for them to be a valid Eucharist. In addition to getting these low-gluten hosts, you also need to consider how it's going to be delivered. So please talk with your priest or those in charge of offering communion and ask if they can be put in the vessel that is called a pyx, P-Y-X. It's a container used to hold a communion host that's often used for delivering communion to people who can't get to church, to shut-in people in the hospital. It should be placed in a pyx and then delivered during communion, so it doesn't come in contact with the other communion hosts or other people that have handled it during that time. So I hope that answers some of your questions. There are low-gluten communion hosts that are 20 parts per million or less than 20 parts per million available. We do have a link on our website, so please go to celiaccenter.org, and on there you'll find a link to this information about what the canon law states and where you can find, or where the church can find rather, the availability of these hosts.